It's kind of broad. All right. We are here, Intellectual Radio, Candid Talk Radio. Once again, it is Thursday night. I am your current co-host, Darkness, as Chris calls me. I am one of the Chris's, Christopher M. Jackson, also soon to be known as Akelo Ajani. Akelo means bringer of, Ajani means the truth, because that is what I say. It's not my opinion, because most of what I say I can prove or we can find out. That is what happens in life about dealing with facts. The butt naked truth is what I call it, and it's a little bit different than the truth. We've had a lot of things going on recently. We're talking about Robert Kelly, we're talking about Trump, we're talking about police brutality, we're talking about people getting jumped on, beat up, assaulted, everything going on. All right, I got some illumination up in here. This is what happens when your light is shining. So let me be the very first one, again, as I've said on different Facebook Lives that I've spoken on, that I am never one to approve, support, et cetera, because we tend to feel like because you don't have some type of disgust with something that then you support it. You know, we are a very strange people that we want to give yay or nay on everything. You know, that only applies in certain things, a yay or nay. See, I'm kind of neutral on a lot of things. See, my father was 30 years older than my mother. She was 24 when she had me. My father was 54. Sure, it's legal, but we're talking about in 1970. Oh my goodness, what was he doing with her and she doing with him? You know, we always have this vast array of, we need to be doing things according to how other people feel, you know, and that's where we go wrong at. We deal with what other people feel, and feelings are opinions. Yeah, we close the door. They're not that they loud. They never have that type of respect, you know. But see, it doesn't matter what people do around me. I have to continue doing what I'm doing because it's called focus. So, not necessarily touching on the situation, but let's deal with a lot of the things that we don't like to. I am very I won't say pro-black. I don't love everybody. I tolerate everyone. I love the things that love me back. I am one who, I have a very serious problem when we want to go against what serious accountability is. We don't like having accountability for the things that we do in life and accepting responsibility for what we do in life. Many things have changed, and this is what I want to talk about the things that have changed, because so many of us have we have had children because we were tired of being told what to do. So you felt like if you became a mother, you were on your own, but you keep leaving that baby down here at Big Mama's house. If you're on your own, take care of your own. My mother told me many moons ago that if I was not wearing diapers, she was not changing them. I knew what that meant. So, Jelly Roll, I have a sister who wants to get her name is Kelvita Rags, and I think she's looking for some prom dresses or something. I don't know. If you're available, let me know here and I'll get her number to you. But she needs someone to help her with some dresses. So we're talking about accountability. We're talking about being responsible for your behavior. all of the things that we've been speaking on in reference to R. Kelly, and nothing new has come under the sun about R. Kelly. Nothing new has transpired to where all of a sudden it's, oh my God, we got him now. Everything is still the same. Now there's this plea out. We need people to talk and come forward and et cetera, et cetera. I have no issue with that. Here's what I want to deal with. Let's bypass that part of it. Let's deal with the feminine aspect of it. Since men are not speaking up for you, since men are not protecting our women, let me step on that part right there then. Let's talk about all of these females who have been thrown to the wolves with these female rainbow warrior coaches out here who have been abusing women. Let's get past the male aspect of it. I'm talking about fathers, freaky uncles, cousins, and all of that touching on young girls in the house. Let's deal with when these girls go to school coming out of 8th grade or even in 8th grade and becoming freshmen with aspiring things to do. We have not necessarily a continuing rumor. We have women all over this country. Since this is internet radio, I won't deal with right here in this city. I'll deal with any city, USA. Think about some of these lesbian coaches who are coaching some of these high school basketball teams who've been tearing off these young girls. Didn't even give them an option or a shot at what it is that they want by choice. See, choice is something that you have in life, that you can do what you want to do and make a decision. But when you don't give someone a choice, it turns into a different type of format. And now I'm obligated and feel like no one else wants me. One of the main things in life that we have that makes a person feel like he has some worth is when someone else wants them. Now, there are many young women. I distinctly remember when the WNBA started, there was a mixture of feminine and there was a mixture of lesbian athletes. That's never been a problem for me. I used to always laugh, anybody like tail, all right with me. So now, here's where the problem lies for me. How is it that you as a parent can never see the difference in your daughter from a male having interaction with her versus a female? I mean, if the male coach was having some interaction with your daughter, you can about pinpoint that and say, I'm not comfortable with that. But then when you have a female coach interacting with your daughter, you're okay and you're comfortable with that. But you don't know that your daughter being skinned alive. I'm talking about these little lightweight initiations. If you want to play for me, basically come up out them panties. That's really what it is. We're not finna water this down. That's really what it is. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we discuss that? How is it that you will come alive with all of the women and the cast iron skillets and the knives and the guns? And I got daughters, but you got daughters when your daughter playing for a woman. Oh, I'm sorry. You've been pushed around to tell you that it's a genetic thing and you were born this way. I've always asked, if you want to tell me that someone is born gay, what child have you been studying since the fetus or the womb when it happened to be able to come up with that statistic? See, I always make it humorous when I bring out this point. Tell me what man can go, tell me what woman can go from liking girls 25 years and then make the decision that she wants to deal with men And that's what she wants to do. And it's okay with men. True story, been through that. She said she had been dealing with women 20 some odd years, and she was interested in me. And we developed a relationship, and we were together a couple of years. Now, tell me when I can tell you I've been with penis 25 years and now I want to be in a relationship with you and a female, and you good with that. Don't worry, I'll wait. That's not even a discussion for you. It's not even an option. Sure, it's one of you that will say, well, I'll do it. Yeah, because you're looking for something to have some type of rebuttal for. But that's never going to be true. It's not going to happen. Right, Brandon? It ain't going to happen. Any woman can tell you she ain't been dealing with, because I used to always laugh about it. Yeah, you got the cleanest stuff this side of State Street. I know good and well ain't nobody been in there. You good. But I can't tell you I've been slinging penis 25 years with men, and now I'm ready to get with a woman, and you going to sit back and say, sure. I caught your message, Al. I kind of figured it was probably a fireman in there, because it was an ambulance, and it was like 5 police cars. And then I saw the police, the chief's truck, and everybody's lights were on. So I figured somebody was injured and probably was a firefighter. So I think I remember seeing that. I saw the text you did. So once again, it's a very delicate slope. And I think that the time has come for men and women that when they meet, see, it's painful when people turn on you and they take information that you share with them and they use it to try to slander you or to badmouth you. I remember the days when no man wanted to be told that he gave a woman pleasure orally. I'll be 49. I'm sorry, I'll be 29 with 20 years experience, February the 8th. And I remember growing up when conversations were out there and men didn't want to let it be unknown that they pleased a woman orally. See, that was considered something of disgust. Now, years later, that's almost like, what, you don't do that? What? This is 2000. You don't do that? Oh, I'm sorry for you. So just like with a woman, you really didn't want anyone to know that you pleased a man with cunnilingus. That's called that Becky. And so nowadays, it's, well, no, I don't do that. What? You don't, he won't be there long. So now we've adopted the phrases of, what you won't do, another one will. I remember when Juanita Bynum used to say, if you don't do it, Gwen will. So she tried to do everything and under the sun that her man wanted to do, because it's about pleasing what's going on at home. So here's one of the things that I wanted to deal with. We've had a lot of discussions about dates, and I've always said that a vast majority of people have zero idea of what a date is. And in order to get these types of situations out about things that have gone on with you, you have to get a lot of this information done on dates. You can't continue to allow the very first date to define how the rest of this is going on. Hey, Minnie, you can't allow the very first date to allow how this is going to go further. See, if you're not intrigued after him or her being the eye candy, then it's done. You have to be intrigued by the nouns, verbs, and adjectives that a person knows how to display in a conversation. We always look and be like, ooh, okay, they look nice. Oh, there's some interest. He keeps looking. She keeps looking. Let me see how this is going to go. And then you come and you speak, and there's conversation, and everything is all right, and you're feeling good about how it's going. So you dialogue. As one sister said earlier, she doesn't like playing games, so she didn't like tests. She felt like tests were like ultimatums. I am a firm believer in tests, in dealing with getting some type of relationship going on. Here's why. If you don't uh, test is like an equal test has an analogy or an equality with reference. See, you don't just get in a car and not test it to see how it sounds or how it drives. You don't eat certain food before you serve it without testing it. Hey, Josette, without testing it at home. Here, taste this. That's called a test. Uh, you test everything. How is it that you don't like tests in the relationships, but you quick to get naked and see what that thing like before you continue on in the relationship? How is it that you don't like tests in the relationship to see how it's going to go, to see if one is loyal, to see everyone is loyal. Nobody's faithful. I'll get back to that in a minute. How do you get off into you don't want to test someone to see if it got different around there, they could defend your honor. But when we sitting up in the club and we dancing all close, we called it slow dancing, when what that really is you trying to grind up on that hot pocket and she trying to grind up on that meat, and you want to see what they're working with. See, I've been there too when we were all dancing all close. She said, "Oh, I feel you." Right, your interest got a little different now. But see, when you're doing certain things, everybody does things in their own method. It's like being in a discussion of some heated fellowship, and you scream on him, or he scream on her, and it doesn't go like you really thought it would go. So and I can't talk to her like that because, she's going to scream back. So it turns into we need to speak a certain way. So I do not feel like there's a lot of openness in the things that we do because there's still a lot of pain. And as I've said before, many of us, all of us, are actors. You bring a lot of makeup to the table, and I don't know what you really look like. See, we laughed at "I'm gonna get you, sucker" when she was taking off all of that stuff and revealing who she really was. Well, we still go through that now because you sitting up at the club, and this is one another thing I used to laugh about. I said, "Man, she got on her little sister bra, chest all up. She got on a little body magic. She got this little waist. She got all of this tail, but that's really a spank. You think that she looks like something, but it's not really her when she come up out them clothes. So you sitting there like, what in the world? This was some game. This was a lie. Like for you weed smokers, when you thought you really had a bag of that good herb, and then it was really some bunk or some shake. It was nothing but dust. You ain't had no buds in there. Not that I've smoked, but I've dilly-dallied and I know the terminology. So it's just, we want to pick and choose what we want to be real thorough with and what we want to have real accountability with and what we want to deal with to be the truth. See, if I really want to know what's going on with you and how you'll treat me, I sit back and I observe you and your interactions with your father or the men around you, because how you treat them and how they treat you, it's going to be a whole different ball game. I said, ask a man, what do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What's your relationship like with your mother? Those two things can go for any age when a man has interest in you. So uh just push the table back, Josette. I mean, I understand that you don't want to look like no busted biscuits. Just push the table back. I know. We eat. You're a big girl. You ain't fluffy, but you have abundant structure, and so you eat. You eat like I eat. So no, you're not fat at all. You 5'10", you heavy structured. So there's a difference between being 5 feet both ways and not at all. So uh, I don't like to play games. Don't do that. You look like a linebacker. I don't like to play games with seriousness. Especially that's why I try to help people when we're talking about a certain type of relationship. Hey, OT, I didn't know y'all had a signal in Gary. I didn't know y'all had a tower for you to be able to pick this up in Gary. You must be in Shy. Hopefully, you can pick this signal up in Gary, Indiana. Shout out to Gary, Indiana. OT, Mahone, Colas, AP in the city at Marshall High School. Now, I don't. I want to know, why is it that you find it difficult to lay everything on the line when you've made a decision to be in a relationship? It's all about love, bro. To be in a relationship, to just put on the floor what you've gone through, what you don't want to go through anymore, and then hold one another accountable for things. How does it always have to turn into, you're comparing me to an ex, or I'm not them, or you use things that people have told you as a catalyst to have something to say negatively, or to throw rocks? I remember a friend of mine had told me, years ago, not to hold her a certain way intimately, because it gave her bad memories about when she was assaulted. You know, it's difficult for me to understand how we have so many people, male and female. We have so many people who attend. Hold on. We have so many people, male and female, who attend these religious institutions, but you don't take your problems to the altar, leave them there, pray on it, move on, and make adjustments. See, I can't continue to deal with the words of "I'm the exception." I know what it's like to uh, fight through some things. I know what it's like to be in a dark place. I know what it's like to wonder, you know, should I even just continue? But see, when you feel like you have people around you that count on you, uh, that's something that drives me. I've never felt like, oh, I want to just end it. I'm just going to jump off the bridge. I've never felt like that. But there have been days when I've just said, I don't give a damn. I really just don't care about this anymore. But then I say, no, there's some things that I need. There's some things I want to accomplish. I need to give a personal shout out to my partner, Kevin Reed, out of New York. He is an asset protection officer, and he got me into the business along with Eric Norwood, and we have been tight. I've been given opportunities to extend their business through this Midwest, uh, being a part of a team of people with April, uh, Chris Johnson, Sifu, uh, Lee, O, AP St. Louis, we're dealing with the business of protecting a client. I've always enjoyed it. I like dealing with it. Um, there is a lot of professionalism in the business. There's an distinct characteristic difference uh, in that and bodyguard and security. There's some similarities, but certain things, you have to do. And I got a phone call. I've had various clients, and some of them I just don't name, not for personal reasons, but uh, I did a concert last night at UIC, so that alone would probably tell you who it was. But I enjoyed it. I want to give a shout out to the team there with Tim and T. They are up in Toronto, Montreal right now, and they'll be back in the States soon. But I had ASAP Rocky last night, and I was a part of that detail, and I never expect anything to happen or go wrong, but it didn't. But the thing is, you find out a lot of interesting things with people when you sit back and you observe. And ASAP Rocky is a very not, he's peculiar to other people, but he's uh, he's a very good dude. And we didn't have conversation, but he handles himself very well. And he has a lot of nice following. I've heard some of his music. I really don't listen to a lot of music anymore, but I've heard some of his music, and I know that he has an extreme mainstream. What I mean by he has an extreme European following. Man, listen, it was a couple of songs came on, and that mosh pit got to cracking, and these beats and these slam dancing, as I call it, and it was on and popping. But everyone enjoyed themselves. He puts on a very good show. A very good show. And shout out to any artist that when something goes wrong, you know how to conduct yourself and handle yourself on stage to not let anyone know that something went wrong. I learned that in umpiring baseball, that when a coach asks you something and you don't know the answer, just fire off anything that sounds closely good to it, and it may sound good enough, and he'll leave it alone. But when you're a steward in something, just giving a mustard seed's worth of effort and love for someone, it tends to help out. It tends to pay off. I've been fortunate to have a lot of good come my way because I know I have maybe far more equal or less bad that I've done over the years. See, I haven't been righteous all my life. Like some of you, you forget when you used to eat welfare cheese. Now you out here because you slicing your cheese coming out the pack, and you shopping at Whole Foods with your bag now that you finally got from Pookie on 47th Street. You think that it's on and cracking and everything is all good now. Some people don't remember where they come from, and that's what humility is about. So we have to get to the point where we have to start being a lot more honest and understanding what the purpose of a date is. Kicking it, let's hang out. They're similar, but they're not the same. My man, let's go see Marvel. We kicking it. We going out to the show. Two guys, we not sitting next to one another. That's not even an option. And we going to see the latest movie out, because we did this, we were kids, whatever the case. But here's the problem. If we don't find, let me scratch that. Trying to bring back a lot of things that I've been talking about throughout the week. that I've dealt with on Facebook, on different social pages. I spoke on something recently about dating multiple people, and I said that I was an advocate against that because when you're texting something, it's received wrong, and you have to speak things out, how it comes. Here's why. Now, a woman can say she's dating, let's just say you're dating 3 different guys. Let's deal with these figures. You're dating 3 different guys. That means call before you come over here. And I understand that. There's different levels of call before you come over here. Let's deal with that part. I'm dating 3 different women. All of you know where I live. I haven't told you that I'm dating multiple people. Let's pin it right there. I haven't told you that I'm dating multiple people. Your first inclination is that we are, that you feel like a woman feels, from my understanding, a woman feels like when she's dating someone she's comfortable with, and we've shared some intimate details and gotten to the bottom of some things, and she feels safe, that you may be the one. We just need to spend a little more time and getting to know one another, which really means let's spend a little more time before we get naked. And then I want to, introduce you to the family and blah, 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 and see how far this goes, because I'm really feeling good about what we're doing. You show up and I'm sitting on the porch with another female. You got your mouth tight now. Because now you were under the impression, although I didn't tell you, since we're adults and certain things we don't have to say. See, when we get past a certain age, we don't write notes anymore. Would you go with me? Check box, yes or no.